Legend Mick Foley, and you are watching C-RadTV here, right here on YouTube. Have a nice day.
This is Cody Diener, and you are watching C-RadTV on YouTube. And just like Cody Diener, C-RadTV lives by two simple words. Just give her, yeah.
How's it going, guys? It's Rad C at a WWE Smackdown review from March 19th. 19 days till WrestleMania. Let's get started with it. So SmackDown starts off with The Miz coming out to the ring. So yes, Miz, of course, going to address the WWE Universe for the first time since Miz was attacked by Shane McMahon at Fastlane. So yeah, Miz comes out. Of course, Miz shows highlights of what Shane McMahon said last week, when Shane said that he was born the best in America. And of course, Miz then goes on and Miz says that he's always focused on the road to WrestleMania. And then Miz says he sacrificed all his relationships for this. And then Miz says that people warned him about Shane. Honestly, they should have warned you about the McMahons as a whole, because some of them can be shady at times. And then Miz then says that Shane putting his hands on his dad will be engraved in his mind forever. Then Miz goes on and calls Shane a disgusting, vile man. Honestly, that description would work perfectly if you were saying that to Vince McMahon. So then Miz goes on and then Shane says that Shane is a McMahon and was born the worst in America. So then Miz goes on and says no one owns him and no one owns Kofi Kingston. Yep, Miz is officially on the Kofi Kingston bandwagon. So then Miz goes on and then says that he proved everyone wrong in the real world when he had to scratch and claw for everything he's gotten today, even taking some shortcuts at some times. And then Miz goes on and says that he works harder than anyone on the main roster. And then Miz then goes on and says that hard work beats talent when talent can't win or can't work hard enough. And then Miz goes on and then Miz then says that Shane deserves an ass whipping from him at WrestleMania 35. So there we go. Another really good promo from Miz. You know, Miz really went edgy there at the end with the ass whipping word, because he said ass. He said ass. Because, you know, I heard WWE's trying to go away from the PG rating, trying to go to 14A again, because Fox called WWE's bitch ass out by telling WWE no more PG crap, and they don't want WWE to cave into the PC culture. Want them to be more edgier. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Fox, for calling this company out. About fucking time somebody did it. I'm proud of yous. Yes, this company needs to go back to 14A. PG kills wrestling, and PC kills wrestling. For anyone who doesn't know, PC means politically correct, which means that it's content that has zero chance of offending anybody. Because we all know how everyone likes to keep playing the I'm offended game. Yeah, play the I'm offended game. Look how dog shit this company is. That's the result of playing the I'm offended game. Do you really want to keep going? Or do you want to see this company get better? If you want this company to get better, then grow the fuck up. That's simple. So yeah, I applaud Fox for that. Maybe Fox should tell NASCAR to be more fucking edgier and not give in to the PC culture. But that's a rant for a different day. So yeah, shout out to Fox for calling his company out. Someone had to do it eventually. So continuing on, next up we get a women's tag team match. We get the women's tag team champions Bayley and Sasha Banks against the Iconics Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. So before the match, Payne goes on and then says that both Bayley and Sasha failed to stay in their nest and failed to stay away from SmackDown. And then Payne says that they're in their turf now. Oh, so this is now becoming WWE Turf Wars. Wonderful. So, to the highlights of the match. The double drop kick was pretty good too, from Bayley and Sasha. Sasha's drop toe hold was good. Early in the match, Lacey Evans' music hits. Lacey Evans comes out. Yeah, we know the drill, folks. We all know what happens from here on out. Like, Vince, are you going to at least let Lacey compete in one match, please? Just let her compete in one TV match before Mania, please. Just one. That's all I ask for. Just one match so we can see what she can do. I don't think when I ask for one match, I'm not asking too much, am I? But let's continue on. Double faceplant from Sasha and Lacey. I mean, not Lacey, Pain. Pretty meh. Pain. Sasha's dropkick was good along with her meteor and her spin kick on the apron. Match ending. Bayley would take Bayley out at ringside. Pain would roll up Sasha. Bayley would give an outside assistance to Pain by holding Sasha's arms down. But then the ref doesn't notice, so Pain gets the 3 count for the win. So, of course, we have victory due to outside interference. Always is a sin. But hey, Pain and Billy got a tag team win. Could they potentially be in the line for a future women's tag team title opportunity? We're gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Next up, we have the Kevin Owens show, the KO show. It is officially back in business. So then going on, before Kevin introduces his guest, Kevin first goes on and says that normally Mania would be known as KO Mania. But this year, KO Mania will take a back seat. And this year, it's about Kofi Mania. Yes, because everyone is all over the Kofi Kingston bandwagon. And then Kevin goes on and says that friendships can go wrong. So then Kevin introduces his guests, which are Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. The 2 women that will challenge Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania. So Kevin goes on and says that Ronda called Becky a joke, and that Ronda could beat both of them in a handicap match. Now, I believe that. Kevin then goes on and says that Charlotte says that Becky's 15 minutes of fame are up. Oh, so you're stealing the old Miz trash talk line, where everyone kept telling Miz his 15 minutes are up from the early 2010s. 0 out of 10 for originality. You didn't think I'd catch that, did you? Wrong. I've always do my homework first, folks. Always do your homework. So then Kevin goes on and says that Becky called Ronda and Charlotte the chosen ones. Charlotte didn't even try to hide it. No, you dumbass, you're not supposed to admit you're the chosen one. God damn it. God. So then Kevin goes on and says that everyone wants to see them fight instead of talk. And so then Charlotte and Becky get up, only to do more talking. So Charlotte grabs the mic and then says that at WrestleMania, she will beat the holy hell out of Becky. Not just any hell, she'll beat the holy hell out of her. So then Becky goes on and then hits a cheap shot to Charlotte Flair, starting a brawl, because talk is cheap. So this brawl will continue until the rest of security try to break it up, until Becky and Charlotte would attack the security guards. Odds are probably Becky and Charlotte are probably getting fined $100,000 for that too. Unless they're getting favoritism over Ronda Rousey. You better find them if you want to show that there's no favoritism to Ronda. But let's continue on. So then after that, they would get more refs to come out and more security, and then they officially break it up. So then after that, WWE Champion Daniel Bryan then comes out to the ring. So Daniel Bryan, of course, going to address everybody before the gauntlet match. Spoiler alert. So Daniel goes on and says that Kofi being the gauntlet match is injustice, because he doesn't deserve an opportunity. So then Daniel goes on and says that Kofi was handpicked to replace Mustafa Ali. But Mustafa had a concussion, and no one was available at the time, so Kofi just happened to be the last man standing in the right place at the right time. So then Daniel goes on and says that Kofi earned nothing and is a B-plus player. It's funny that you call him a B-plus player, considering Daniel in the build-up to Mania 30, You were called a B-plus player that entire build-up, dumb fuck. The fucking irony in that. So then Daniel goes on and says that New Day should put B-plus is good enough on a t-shirt. Don't give them any bright ideas, Daniel. They might actually fucking do it. Watch. Within a month or so, say within a month or so, on WWE Shop in the New Day section, we're going to start seeing shirts that say, B-plus is good enough. New Day rocks on the back with all those fucking booty pancakes. Watch, that t-shirt will be... That t-shirt will be up in the WWE Shop within a month. Mark it. Timestamp the video right here so that when it does happen, you can go back and say that I called it. So then Daniel goes on and says that Kofi has lost every opportunity he got, and this gauntlet match will be no exception. So then Kofi Kingston's music hits as we get ready for the gauntlet match. So yes, Kofi has to last 5 men. Every time Kofi pins or submits a guy, they move on to the next guy. If Kofi gets pinned or loses, he loses the entire gauntlet. Kofi doesn't go to Mania. So Kofi's got to beat every person in the gauntlet to get a shot at Mania. So let's go to the gauntlet match. So matchup number 1, we have Kofi Kingston versus Sheamus. And throughout this entire gauntlet match, the SmackDown roster is watching backstage. So highlights in the match. Sheamus' head toss is good along with his arm toss, but Kofi's arm reversal was pretty good too. Kofi's arm toss is also good along with his leaping backwards crossbody. Sheamus would then hit only 7 of the 10 beats of Balor. I guess the fans weren't worthy enough to see the last 3. Kofi's spin kick was good, along with Sheamus' knee drop. Kofi's drop kick was good along with his boom drop and his springboard crossbody. Sheamus' Irish Curse backbreaker was good along with his clover leaf, but Kofi would power out of it. Leads to our match ending. Kofi hits the Trouble in Paradise. Kofi gets the 3 count to eliminate Sheamus from the gauntlet. 1 down, 4 to go. So throughout the match backstage, we'd have New Day, Big E, and Xavier Woods backstage. Then the Usos would join them back there. And then Ricochet would join. And then EC3. And then Heavy Machinery. And then Carmella. And then R-Truth. And the list goes on. Even Nikki Cross got in on it too. So we then get to matchup number 2. We get Kofi Kingston versus Cesaro. Highlights of this matchup. Cesaro's uppercuts throughout the match were pretty good. Along with Cesaro's gut-wrench suplex. Cesaro's backbreaker to counter a crossbody was very well executed. Great job. Kofi's crossbody was good. Cesaro would hit 9 Cesaro swings. Then he'd lock into cloverleaf. Kofi would power out of it. Cesaro's fisherman suplex is pretty good, but match ending. Kofi hits the SOS. Kofi gets the 3 count and eliminates Cesaro. Leads us to matchup number 3. Kofi Kingston versus Eric Rowan. So, highlights of this matchup. Eric Rowan hits a running crossbody outside the ring. Then Eric grabs the chair and then strikes Kofi with the chair, forcing DQ. So Kofi was still going to eliminate Eric regardless. And also by having Eric do that, you also make him look like an idiot by having him get himself intentionally disqualified. So then after that, Eric would go on and continue to attack Kofi for post-elimination result. Because since it's a gauntlet match, it's technically not post-match assault. It is post-elimination. So Eric goes and then hits the Iron Claw chokeslam on Kofi Kingston right through the announce table. Alright, it was good that you had him beat Kofi up, but it still doesn't make up for the fact that you made him look like a fucking idiot. Like, this is why I think WWE's booking is so fucking inconsistent and dumb. And garbage. Like, fuck me. It's so fucking terrible. So, continuing on, next up, we get our 4th matchup in the gauntlet. Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe. So, highlights of this matchup. Kofi would then hit Joe strikes throughout the match were good, along with Joe's enziguri in the corner. Kofi's jawbreaker was good. Joe would hit the Uranagi on Kofi, but that would get a 2 count. So once again, we have wrestler kicks out a finisher like it's your normal move cliche. So continuing on, Joe's headbutts throughout the match are pretty good. Kofi's double leg takedown was good, but Kofi couldn't do anything else to mess her up with it. So to our match ending, Joe would go for the muscle buster on Kofi. Kofi would counter it with a roll-up. Kofi gets the 3 count to eliminate Samoa Joe. But hold up, because after that, Samoa Joe would then go and lock in the coquina clutch on Kofi on the ropes for post-elimination assault. So we've had back-to-back post-eliminations assaults and people beating up on Kofi. At least this one, they didn't make Joe look like a fucking idiot. So I guess this one I'll give him a pass. So that leads to our final matchup. We get Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton. So highlights in the match. Randy's stomps throughout the match were good. Kofi's dropkick is pretty good too. Kofi would hit the Trouble in Paradise, but Randy Orton would roll out of the ring to prevent a pin. Randy's body slam to counter a crossbody was pretty good too. Randy's Haney DDT from the middle rope was also good. Leads to our match ending. Randy would go for the RKO out of nowhere, but Kofi would counter it with a roll-up out of nowhere. Oh, I just made a new meme. Kofi with a roll-up out of nowhere. Get that shit trending on Twitter. Kofi gets the 3 count for the win to win the gauntlet match. So there you go, Kofi. You've done it. You have overcome the odds. You are going to WrestleMania to challenge Daniel Bryan. Or are you? Because hold up, we ain't done yet, motherfuckers. Because while Big E and Xavier Woods come in the ring to celebrate with Kofi, Vince McMahon's music hits and then Mr. McMahon comes out to the ring. So Vince comes out, yeah, congrats, Kofi, yeah, you did it, you overcome the odds, yeah. So you're going to be going to WrestleMania now to challenge for the WWE title, yeah. However, though, in order to go to Mania, you got to beat one more man to get in, to get a shot, yeah. So I need Big E and Xavier to get the hell out of my ring. So Kofi can have his one last gauntlet match. Yeah. Good luck, Kofi. Yeah. So Kofi still got one more opponent. So Vince McMahon is once again stacking the deck on Kofi Kingston. So matchup number 6 in the gauntlet, we have Kofi Kingston versus WWE Champion Daniel Bryan. A fresh Daniel Bryan, and at this point Kofi is tired and beat the shit. So highlights of this matchup, Daniel's strikes were pretty good. Daniel's belly to back superplex was pretty good, followed by the LaBelle lock right after. Great sequence, but Kofi would power out of it. Daniel's fickle kicks were pretty good too. Kofi Kingston would botch the SOS. Like, that looked like garbage. It looked like shit. Like, what the fuck was that? Daniel's 2 missile drop kicks in the corner were good, which leads to our match ending. Daniel hits the running knee on Kofi Kingston. Daniel Bryan gets the 3 count for the win. So Kofi Kingston does not get to go to WrestleMania to challenge Daniel Bryan. So yes, folks, you wanted Kofi versus Daniel at WrestleMania? Well, guess what? Vince McMahon says too fucking bad. You don't get it. Because I guess 5 men were not good enough for Kofi. Were not good enough for Vince.
That's not good enough!
But yeah, that's how we end SmackDown. So yeah, overall, pretty meh episode, pretty decent. Like, SmackDown is a way hell of a lot better than Raw. Like, the build-up for Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston has been really, really good. Really good build-up here, and like the build-up to Rollins versus Lesnar. Well, then every time Lesnar comes out and Paul Heyman does his introduction, I want to fucking fall asleep. Like, I kid you not, every time throughout Raw, Monday, there were so many times in that show where I wanted to just turn the TV off and just go to sleep. And forget that show even existed. But I kept watching it just so I can provide great content for all you folks that have always supported my channel since day one. Because, you know, this is for each and every one of yous. I do it for all of yous, folks. But yeah, in terms of this, I mean, meh. I mean, there was some flaws in it, but, you know, it was a pretty decent show. I'm going to say 5 out of 10 for SmackDown. But yeah, that's all I got to say, folks. Hope everyone has a great day, and yeah, peace out.